So,
Yeah, well, we're ready for Facebook.
okay, and I'm showing 7:29. Yeah. Thank you, Robert.
Most welcome. 7:30.
Shabbat Shalom, good Shabbos. As we come together to say farewell to this day, we welcome you as we gather together to say farewell, even if we may be separated in space. And so tonight, I'm going to tell a story first before we segue to say farewell. And I thought of the story today as we were reading Torah, because we came this Shabbat to the end of Bamidbar, the book of Numbers, and all the journeys that Moses had to lead our ancestors, the children of Israel, through on the way to the promised land, now without his siblings, without Miriam and without Aaron. And so reading all this reminded me of one of my favorite stories, not mine. I have to give credit, of course, to Rabbi Mark Gelman. Because God knew that God couldn't lead the Israelites all by God's self. The people needed a human leader. And that human leader had to have oodles and oodles of patience. So God had to figure out how to find somebody with lots of patience. Someone who would never give up, no matter how bad things looked, no matter how much the people fetched and complained, no matter how long it was taking to get to the promised land. So you know what God did to figure out how to find such a person? God went to the angels for advice, which was really not a very good idea because the angels were always pestering God with ideas, and truth be told, most of the ideas really weren't very good. But God was patient, and God listened patiently to all of the angels who kept trying to come up with a patience test. So the angel Gabriel, or Gabriel, if you prefer the English pronunciation, strongly pushed his idea. The soon-to-be famous tangled ball of string, pronounced Gabriel. Whoever has the patience to untangle this ball of string is our person for sure. But God didn't like this idea. So God said, untying string is just boring. And string untanglers are usually the kind of people who save rubber bands or aluminum foil and turn them into rubber band balls or aluminum foil balls. That's not what I had in mind. Then the angel Michael, or Michael, came up with what would someday be called not Michael's cube, but Rubik's cube. Hey God, he called out, look at my patience test. You have to figure out how to get the same colors on the same side. Now, I'm still working on this, so I'm sure any person who can solve this puzzle is our person for sure. Again, God was not impressed. God explained to Michael that puzzle solving required persistence, not patience. And some of the worst leaders had the most persistence. But all this talk had God thinking and gave God an idea. So God started a bush burning out in the desert near some shepherds. Now, none of the shepherds noticed it. I mean, bushes in the desert were not special. Even bushes on fire, it gets hot in the desert, and there is such a thing known as spontaneous combustion. But then one day, one shepherd came upon this burning bush and sat down on the ground before it and watched and watched and watched. And this shepherd, by the name of Moshe or Moses, saw that the leaves got burned off and the branches were all blackened like any burning bush. But the bush never burned up, and the fire never burned out. It just kept burning and burning and burning. And Moses was the only one with patience to see this happen. Now Moses tried to call all the other shepherds to come over and watch with him, but they all had better things to do. So did Moses, but at that time only God knew. For Moses was about to become the human leader on that long, hard walk to freedom. And so with that, we're going to sing still Shabbat Shalom, and as we do, you might want to gather your Havdalah sets, your candles and Kiddush cup and spice box, so we can do Havdalah together. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Umevorach, Shabbat Shalom, Umevorach, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. In just a moment, as we prepare to enter the new week, and we know once again that God turned the world over into our hands, and we need to find all kinds of leaders with patience and understanding, that we imitate God. And when God began to create the world, the first thing God created was light. And that, of course, is what we do now as we light our Havdalah candles. And once I do that, I'm going to go and turn off my electric light here. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen borei peri hagafen ya la 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 ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam haolam borei minei v'samim borei minei v'samim Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la la. Ya la la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la la la. Ya la la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei meorei haesh borei meorei haesh Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la la Ya la la Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la la Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam haolam hamavdil ben kodesh lechol hamavdil ben kodesh lechol Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 ya la la Ya la 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 ya la la Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 ya la la Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la la Eliyahu Hanavi Eliyahu Atishbi Eliyahu 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 Agiladi Hamavdir Eliyahu Hanavi Eliyahu Atishbi Eliyahu 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 Agiladi Hamavdil ben Kodesh lechol Chatotenu imachol Zarenu v'chasbenu Yarbekechol V'akochavim Ba'lai Shavua Tov, 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 a good week, a week of peace, may gladness reign and joy increase. A good week, a week of peace, may gladness reign and joy increase. A good week to all of you, wherever you may be, and may you stay healthy, and may the peace of this day and what this day gives us a foretaste of continue to kind of linger with you in the days to come. For those of you on the stream and Facebook Live, we'll be leaving you now. Those of you on Zoom, we're here to talk for a few more minutes in this new week. Shavua Tov.